As most of you guys know, when it comes to making these type of videos, not everyone's going to be happy. There's always going to be somebody that disagrees with you, and there's always going to be some angry guy in the comment section, enraged that you left somebody off the list. It's almost a guarantee at this point. Everybody has their opinions, and that's just the way it's going to be. But when it comes to making this video talking about the best offensive and defensive players at each position, I'm not going to lie, I got a good feeling that a lot of you guys will agree with me on this list. But before we get into it, like I always say, if you guys like this video or any of my past content, don't forget to like and sub the teams. And also another thing too, we just hit the 100 subscriber mark, so I guess you could say that we hit the 2 Virgil mark. No, okay. But anywho, thank you guys for the support. It's truly been amazing. We're just getting started, but I want to give a special shout out to the sub squad. But with that being said, enough of the chit chat. Let's get to the video. Let's go. Now, kicking things off at the 1, there's a lot of talented offensive point guards in the league, such as Dame, Kyrie, and Trae Young. But at the end of the day, Steph Curry is still in the league of his own. With Curry being gone from that injury as long as he did, it seems like people are just quick to dethrone him, like he hasn't really been the best point guard in the NBA for about the last 5 years. And during this 5-year span, nobody's really gotten close to taking the crown from him. Impact-wise, he's been a big part to why the NBA is shifting towards this whole 3-centric playstyle. Then on the court, he creates a large amount of fear in opposing teams, which opens up scoring for his other teammates. Being the greatest shooter to ever touch a basketball would tend to do that. And let's be honest, the man is probably locked for being a top 5 point guard of all time. Another thing to point out too, he's only like 32 years old, which is pretty crazy to me. To see the amount of stuff he's accomplished at that age is pretty surprising. And if you guys think I'm gonna pick anyone else besides hands down the best shooter and probably a top 5 point guard of all time, you crazy as hell. Now, moving on to defense, this one was a no-brainer too. I'ma just pick the 6'10", 240 point guard that can defend 1 through 5. We talking about Ben Simmons. Now, if it weren't for Ben Simmons, I probably would have chosen the likes of Pat Bev, Lonzo, or Drew Holiday. But with Ben Simmons, he's just a one-of-a-kind defender. And the crazy part is, most people don't appreciate his defense, mostly due to all the attention people pay to him on offense. People are just so focused on Ben Simmons improving on offense when he's already a great defensive player. Now, yes, in order to reach his full potential, he probably does need to be more aggressive and probably needs to add a jump shot. But even at the state he is now, Simmons is still a very good NBA player, with his defense being one of his better skill sets. For starters, being 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan is a good start. Then we have the ability to guard 1 through 5 like he does. It truly makes him a special defender. Even with him getting injured being out for some time, he still leads the league in steals, and he's also 3rd in the NBA in deflections, so it shows you how disruptive Ben Simmons can be when he's on the defensive end. And with the year Ben Simmons is having, I would be shocked if he wasn't at least a serious contender for Defensive Player of the Year. I still think that AD and Giannis is going to win it, but still, Simmons should get some recognition. And with the way the NBA is trending, having a versatile defender like Ben Simmons is key, especially come playoff time. With elite perimeter scorers like Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, and Giannis, it's a good thing to have a player like Ben Simmons. Shout out all the other elite defensive point guards, but with a versatile defender like Ben Simmons, we gotta go with him 10 times out of 10. Now, the shooting guard spot started on offense. This is an easy no-brainer. We're going with James Harden. Say what you want about his high usage rate and his foul hunting ways, but at the end of the day, he's still one of the more prolific scorers in NBA history, and it's the versatility in his scoring that makes him elite. Catch and shoot, isolation, pick and roll, Harden is deadly in all 3 of those areas. I can't tell you how many times I've seen defenders play amazing defense just for Harden to give them a simple step back and make a 3 with a defender grilled in his face. And I'm talking about 99 contests, and he's still making these shots effortlessly. And also too, let's not forget about his elite playmaking. And with how much he's shown over the year with his amazing offensive ability, you would think that he gets due respect for being the amazing scorer that he is. But nah, people just hate his playstyle so much that they probably won't give him his due respect to either he wins a championship or when he hangs them up. Man, when it comes to these Harden critics, it's just one complaint after another. From high shot attempts, high usage rate, and him quote-unquote disappearing from the playoffs every year. Now, being in the situation that Harden's in, what do you want him to do? Before D'Antoni, people forget that Harden was an elite scorer already. And now with D'Antoni, he's basically been fully unleashed, being given more shots and given more ball handling responsibilities. He's doing what he has to do for his team to win, and as a fan, isn't that what you want your best player to do? And there's some stat heads that look that he isn't as efficient as his counterparts and just throw anything he does out the window. It's just like I said in my last video, all these takes and narratives about James Harden really isn't going to stop till we see some bling on his finger. And on defense, I'm not going to lie, this was a close one between Jimmy Butler and Klay Thompson. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Jimmy Butler. That's mainly due to the fact that I think he has a slightly better defensive impact. Now with Butler, he's the type of player that impacts the game beyond some steals and blocks. And from a leadership standpoint of things, is a vocal leader, which plays a big part when it comes to team defense. defense. For what we know, Butler expects a certain level of hard work and effort, which can really rally a team together or end up painting him as a villain like he did in Minnesota. Butler might be giving off some MJ a-hole vibes, but we all know Butler just wants to get the best out of all his teammates. And reasons like that is exactly why he's respected by his peers so much. And with a player like Jimmy Butler, you're getting a player that can change a whole team culture. Just look at all the teams he played for. He saved the Bulls in the post-D Rose era. He instantly put the Timberwolves in the playoffs. He improved the 76ers, where they ended up being one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. And now he's most likely going to lead a fairly young Heat team to a top 4 seed in the East. Call it what you want, but the man effect on teams is pretty obvious. At the end of the day, all these teams Jimmy Butler played for have gotten significantly better since he arrived. Like they always say, the proof is in the pudding. Like I said before, him and Klay are neck to neck on defense, but I do understand the argument for the people that do prefer Klay. Now onto the small forward spot, which offensively ended up being a pretty easy pick for me. Kevin Durant is the best scorer probably to pick up a basketball, but that's just scoring. If we're talking best offensive basketball player, it's none other than LeBron James. On the level of scoring only, nobody in the history of basketball is touching Kevin Durant. Let's get that straight. But as far as the best offensive small forward goes, LeBron elite playmaking along with his elite scoring takes the cake for me. And yes, even at the age of 35. Now obviously when it comes to his athleticism, he's not going to be jumping out the gym like he used to. Those good old days of him tomahawking from damn near the free throw line are probably over. But even without his full-on peak athleticism, he's still looking like the best player in the world. His IQ and feel for the game makes up for whatever athleticism he lost. This year, we've been seeing something from LeBron that a lot of people have been wanting him to do more of, which is basically post up. As he gets older, he understands that he can't just put his head down and just go through defenders all the time, which is a big reason why we see LeBron post up more. And when it comes to his playmaking, LeBron haven't missed a beat in that category either, leading the league with 10 assists a game. It might come to him naturally, but a majority of times, it seems like LeBron is prone to always making the right play. And when it comes to fast breaks, LeBron is still that unstoppable train that defenders fear seeing at full speed. And with him and Anthony Davis both being freaks in nature, it really doesn't surprise me that they're one of the best fast break teams in the NBA. Sure, LeBron is getting up there in age, but with the way he's playing, especially on offense, I think he has a chance to fend off Father Time for at least a few more years. Now moving on to defense, without a doubt, is definitely Kawhi Leonard. Now with Kawhi, what more do I need to say? The man is hands down the best defender in the NBA, which is still amazing given his heavy workload on offense. Last year in the playoffs, he had to guard players like Giannis, Jimmy Butler, and Klay Thompson, then still produce and lead his team on offense. So I think it's safe to say that Kawhi is the poster boy for being a true two-way player, and that's the reason why he's respected so much, especially considering the workload he takes every night. But it's going to get easier now he's on the Clippers, where him and Paul George basically are going to share duties guarding the tough matchups. So when it's playoff time, he's less likely to slow down or get fatigued. But don't get it twisted. When the Lakers and Clippers most likely clash, fully expect Kawhi to follow LeBron everywhere he goes. But overall with Kawhi, it's pretty crazy to see all he's accomplished only at the age of 29. Not long ago, he was on the court with the Spurs just for defensive purposes. But ever since he won that championship and Finals MVP, he gradually improved to be the star that we all know. To have a guy so invested in defense the way he is to then go on offense and give you at least half a Virgil a night is something truly special. Now when it comes to the power forward spot, this is probably the hardest position to choose. It's basically a pick your poison situation when it comes down to Anthony Davis and Giannis for both categories. And for all the people wondering, yes, Giannis is a power forward nowadays. If Giannis was originally a small forward like I would have hoped, this would have been way easier. But in the end game, I ended up having two hard decisions to make. On offense, it was tough, but I'm gonna have to give the slight edge to Giannis. And the reason why is mainly due to his playmaking. For Giannis to be damn near 6'11" and dribbling with the speed and power he does is just crazy. And with him playing the 4 spot nowadays in this whole positionless basketball era, he's just a mismatch for just about anybody. In these last 2 years of him being given more ball handling responsibilities, he really has taken his game to the next level. If you don't help, it's almost a guarantee that Giannis is gonna score, but if you overhelp when Giannis drives, he can just easily kick it out to Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, or Wesley Matthews for the open shot. Oh, the perks of having a freaking nature on your team. Now, I love Anthony Davis, and I think he's just as amazing as Giannis, but I don't think he's the same level when it comes to playmaking. And on the defensive end, this was also tough, but I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis here. Like I said before, it's literally pick your poison. Both players are leading the race for Defensive Player of the Year, but I think Anthony Davis is the better defensive player at the moment. His versatility to play the 4 and 5 is something that's really been key to the Lakers season so far. And the crazy part is, Anthony Davis isn't really big on playing center. From what's been reported, he really likes to play the 4 most of the time. But when it comes down to it, Anthony Anthony Davis at center makes the Lakers really dangerous, and there's really nobody in the league that can duplicate his impact, from his shot blocking to his ability to switch and defend at a high level. And Davis is also an ultimate blindside protector, basically making defensive responsibilities for LeBron much easier. And without AD on the court, it's a night and day difference in the Lakers defense. So even at this point, it's really not a hot take to say that Anthony Davis is more important to the Lakers defense than LeBron James. And last but not least, we got the good old center position. And Jokic would probably be the most favorable pick to everybody, especially due to his playmaking abilities. But overall, offensively, Embiid can do everything Jokic can, but even better. And after full peaks, I think that Joel Embiid is miles ahead of Jokic and Cat offensively. For Embiid to be that agile for the height and weight he is pretty amazing. Windmills, Euro steps, and overall footwork, that's something special. Now the thing that holds everybody back on Embiid is his injuries, which is very concerning given his recent history. It's all about preference, but I'm gonna go with Joel Embiid on the offensive side of things, given that he's healthy. And on defense, this shouldn't come to no surprise, I'm going with Rudy Gobert. Now I know Rudy Gobert isn't the most popular guy on NBA Twitter for multiple reasons, but when we talking about who the best defensive center in the NBA is, it's 100% hands down Rudy Gobert. Now a lot of NBA fans will probably say Rudy Gobert is basically boring. Nobody's really looking forward to watch Rudy Gobert play. For one, he plays in Utah, and two, defense isn't the sexiest thing to see. People want to see offense. But let's give Rudy Gobert his due credit when it comes to his amazing defensive abilities. The only person near him defensively at center is maybe Clint Capella and Miles Turner, but they're not even near the defensive monster that Gobert is. Imagine playing one of those max wingspan glass cleaners you always see on 2K, but in real life. Now, is he a center that I probably would want to start my franchise with? Hell no. I'm definitely taking Embiid or Jokic over him. But at the end of the day, the man bleeds elite defense. But anyways, guys, please let me know your overall thoughts about this video. I'm gonna go rage on FIFA 20. Until next time, it's your boy 22 Khalil, and as they always say in Japan, Ja Matane. Peace.